Money these days is tight, and it's no surprise that it's on the front of everyone's mind or circulating the internet on a number of different articles. You'll see reports that nearly 50% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and other reports talking about how nearly 60% of Americans can't cover a one-time unexpected expense of $1,000. Whether you're in this boat or looking for a way to be able to make your money go further to buy the things that you want, look no further. We're going to dive into 5 things that you can be doing today to expand your income streams and look for a little bit of extra cash on the side. Let's get right into these 5 simple things and let's make some money. First thing we're going to dive into, focus groups. You may or may not be familiar with them, but basically it's just a conversation. You're just talking to researchers about your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. You're just literally sharing your thoughts. And what you can be sharing your thoughts on are on a wide variety of subjects. It can cover just about anything. I've done focus groups for about 4 years now, and I've talked about things from cars to vitamins to food to eating out, credit cards, financial research, just about anything under the sun. I've probably talked about it in a focus group. And that's the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to be talking about. You're just sharing your opinion with these researchers who are trying to gather data for companies. I won't keep you any longer. Focus groups, for the most part, they pay around $100 an hour. I find myself doing a couple focus groups every single month, and it brings in another $200 to $400 a month. It's pretty awesome, pretty straightforward. They're typically paid out in either PayPal, Amazon gift cards, or a wide variety of gift cards, and sometimes even cash. But between you and me, Amazon gift cards, basically cash. You use them like cash. It's the same thing. It's the other great thing. These focus groups are, for the most part, always over Zoom, and you're not having to go somewhere. There are some occasions where you can be selected for focus groups that are in person, but they tell you about that when you're signing up. Bottom line, you just talk, you just share your opinion, and you get paid. How great is that? I've got another great side hustle idea, and that's number 2. It's gonna be sports related themed. So there's a wide variety of things that can encompass this, whether it's a coach, an umpire, a referee, a private instructor. There are so many things in the sports world that can give you an extra stream of income each week, each month, throughout the year. They're fantastic. And if you say, Colin, I wasn't an expert athlete or top tier, like who would want my guidance or my teaching? Well, that's the great thing. Depending on the sport and depending on the level that you're hoping to try to get involved in, you may not even need to be that advanced of an athlete. So for example, you can look at things like teaching kids how to swim. And if they're just learning to swim, you don't have to be an Olympian swimmer to be able to do that. You're just teaching kids the basics and the fundamentals of swimming. If you're looking at more of the umpire refereeing route, those are great ways to make some extra money on the weekends. I got a buddy who's umpiring all day on Saturdays from 9 to 5, and he's making some serious change. You're not even having to be an expert baseball player. It's not like you're coaching or teaching. You're just umping. Same concept with basketball, soccer, football. You make some good money on the weekends in cash, quick, easy, fun. Extra income coming in your way. We're into number 3 in the side hustle journey, and that's tutoring. So same kind of concept as number 2 with the sports related bucket of side hustles. We want to look at things where we can give back, where we can make some money in services that are actually of need for lots of people. So whether that's math, science, or English tutoring for high school or college students, or even middle school, there's a whole variety and bucket of people looking for extra help on the side. And that can be in the evenings, online, or even on the weekends at tutoring centers. Again, I got another buddy who's just starting into this, and it's pretty lucrative. You can make some good money on the side, and it's a good way to stay involved. You're not just sitting in your room doing nothing on the weekends. You're making some money. You're helping out. Another very great thing in that realm is in ACT, SAT prep tutoring. Basically, you just market yourself on Facebook groups and say, hey, I got this score on the ACT or SAT. Let me show you how I did it. It's a great way to be able to market yourself and say, here are my credentials, and here's what I can offer you, and here's how much I'm going to charge. You can make really good money. Again, you can do it from your home. You don't even have to go somewhere potentially. And it's just another great bucket of money that's pretty straightforward and simple to do. Number 4, and this one's not as frequent or as regular of a pay as 1, 2, or 3, but I did want to make sure I included it because it's very simple and straightforward. And that's signing up for offers on new bank accounts. Banks are always looking for new customers because there's a lot of research on how sticky consumers are when they sign up for a bank the first time. They're very unlikely to leave that bank. They're basically customers for life, all intents and purposes. So banks offer additional sign-up bonuses for criteria, whether it's transferring money initially and holding it there for a number of days, or setting up direct deposit from your paycheck. These are really great ways to get some quick wins and influxes of cash, say $200 to $500 for just signing up for these direct deposits on these new bank accounts. A lot of banks run these, and they run these offers where you can get them every couple of years. Think about it, you sign up for a few a year, few different the next year, and then you can circle back and do the first ones again in a couple of years after you close the bank accounts. Great way to get some quick money, $200 a pop, another $400 to $600, solid. Number 5, our last side hustle that we're going to talk about today, and I saved it for the end because it's kind of expert mode and it's not something that is right for everyone, or not everyone wants to go through the effort of, and that's credit card sign-up bonuses. Now, these are very specific and tailored for people who aren't carrying a credit card balance, people who aren't in debt. I don't want to be recommending this to you if you fall into that bucket, because I don't want you to have to pay disgusting and gross interest on credit cards by carrying a balance. But if you're debt-free, you have no credit card balances, credit card sign-up bonuses are a great way to further your life and be able to travel for basically nothing. You basically sign up for a new credit card, you spend a certain amount of money, oftentimes $4,000 in the first 3 months of card opening, and you get anywhere from $60,000, which is $600 to like $1,200 for this sign-up offer. A great way to be able to use money for travel to see the world in ways that you wouldn't otherwise think of, or other ways that you wouldn't normally spend your hard-earned money on, right? We have enough problems spending it on rent, food, utilities, car payment. Where is that travel money coming from? If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're tight on money, you're not necessarily pulling out the stops for a vacation. This is where these credit card sign-up offers can come in. You're able to still travel and do some of that fun stuff, or pull that money out from the sign-up bonus, use it in cash and pay your bills, or move it towards that emergency fund to cover that $1,000 expense. It's not super exciting at times if I'm moving the $600 bonus right into a high-yield savings account for my emergency fund, but we got to do what we got to do, and that's a great way to have some extra money come in that you're not having to spend your day job money on. It's another way to supplement your income and save for the future and be able to have this influx of money. You can sign up for a few credit cards a year, for example, have this extra influx of points and turn it into cash or turn it into travel. And that's another great way and another great game to be able to play. And we cover a lot of it on the channel too, with credit cards and investing. So there we have it. Those are 5 quick side hustles that majority of you can do from home that results in an extra influx of money. So none of these are life-changing per se on their own, but you want to begin to stack these wins, especially if you're climbing out of a hole and working on saving to have an emergency fund, or just to free up extra money in your day job to use it for other things beyond necessities. Now that you have this extra influx of money, make sure you check out this next video to make sure that we're maximizing our payday routine, as well as using this new money to its full advantage, and check out the steps that I myself take to grow my net worth and what you should be doing every single time you get paid. I'll see you over in this next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.